Ben's terrific point that he made before that I've now presented to other people, and they go, yeah, that's so true. And here it was.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, here it was. Gore won the popular vote in 2000. Who voted for Gore in 2000 who's going to come back around and say, man, that was such a mistake. That Bush guy did such a better job? No one. He will lose not one single vote. He will only gain votes. So it is inconceivable that he could lose.
That's my point?
Yeah.
I don't remember making that point, but I'll take it.
No, and look, I know it's not perfect. I know he's not going to be running against Bush. I know that, look, a lot of things have happened between 2000 and when they vote in 2008, and perceptions of him have changed to some degree, et cetera. But still, given all of that, it's still an overwhelmingly good point. Every single person who voted in 2000 for Al Gore's got to be thinking, I was so right. If only I'd get a chance to do that again.
No, look, I don't disagree with it. I think I made a great point. But what worries me is what I hear when I travel the country, when I speak to Air Americans. No, is that there is, I don't know that they believe it. I know it's just a thing people who don't follow politics that much say. I don't mean that to sound as dismissive as it did. Most people don't follow politics. They have a life to lead, and much of following politics is nonsense, which I totally understand. It sort of sickens people, makes them feel like they have to take a shower after they, listen to, plenty of people on the Democratic side too. You listen to Joe Biden debate Mitch McConnell, and you feel dirty. Is that they're like there's a sense of I'm tired of this guy. We already had his chance, and he's annoying, and that's what I fear, is that all this stuff that he says that is so right and so what this country needs, and it's the sort of Jim Webb type of democratic action. It's muscular liberalism.
Yeah. Well, you see, that brings me to my second point, Ben, which is
and of course, real quick, and it won't be George Bush. It'll be somebody like John McCain.
Yeah. That brings me to my second point, which is no one's tried to run against the media before, except Republicans. And Republicans have done it very successfully in the past. Democrats never tried it. Democrats always tried to, on bended knee, be kind and nice and, find a way to, stroke the media, et cetera. But because what you're saying is the image that the media has put out for the last 6 years. And, yes, some people might genuinely believe that. Some people might believe that now, because they've been inundated for the last 6 years of, oh, this guy's a loser, this guy's annoying, this guy's angry, this guy's irrelevant, this guy da-da-da-da-da, that we hear from Fox News Channel, and even the mainstream media to some degree in their snide little comments.
Well, here's what
I think.
I think you're right, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think I'm going to agree with you, is that if Al Gore runs, he's not he's got a ton of supporters, obviously, and if he runs, that he has to be constantly aggressive. And I don't mean screaming aggressive, but I mean in a press conference saying things like, you guys are missing the point, man. Sympathetic, like trying to help him, not being hostile. And
no, I'd go to condescending, actually.
Oh, no, that never works, ever. I mean, that is but I mean, I'm telling you, I hate it. Everybody hates it. But, I mean, you can do it without being condescending.
No, let me give you an example of what we're talking about here. Bill Clinton with Chris Wallace on Fox News Channel. Point at him, okay? And tell him, look, why are you asking that question? Isn't this the question you should be asking Republicans? Here's what I think. Take charge.
Okay,
grab him by the collar.
That's not condescending, though. I mean, that's
okay. Just forget the condescending word. Who cares how you describe it? Take charge. Be aggressive. Okay, however you do it. And if somebody says, oh, in the meanwhile, oh, you're sighing too much, or you're this, or you're condescending, or whatever you want to say hey, listen, are you ever going to report on the substance, or are you going to sit there like a child and constantly talk about who's looking this way and who's looking that way and who brushed their hair and who didn't brush their hair? Do you know how to report?
Yeah, well, then
look, get in their grill.
Now you've entered into condescending. But I mean, look, we just fundamentally disagree on that. But I think there's a great deal of truth there in the aggressiveness, And Bill Clinton didn't say to him, "Do you know how to report?" But he was aggressive and pointing out when it's wrong. and saying things like, "You guys, you're missing the point. You're missing it. Here's the point. You don't talk about somebody's hair or whether somebody's size. You talk about what we're talking about. You talk about the things that matter about, protecting this country and restoring our dignity and getting us back to the sort of place where we lead the world. When we lead the world, we can protect ourselves from the world.